Welcome to iLecture Online. Now we'll talk about the Laplacian operator and what it is. It turns out in many very important partial differential equations that have some good applications in science and physics, well, they use the Laplacian operator. So we need to know what that is. Here's an example of one of those equations. This is called the wave equation. And the symbol right here, the upside down triangle squared. Remember that the upside down triangle by itself was the gradient of a function. Now when we square it, it's called the Laplacian, and it is equal to this right here. In other words, when we see an upside down triangle with a square on it, it means that we're going to take something like a function and take the second partial derivative of that with respect to x, the second partial derivative of that function with respect to y, and the second partial derivative of that function with respect to z. What does it mean? What are we doing when we apply the Laplacian? Well, one way to express it is that it's the flux density of the gradient flow. But that still doesn't mean a lot to us. So maybe another explanation might even be better. In the case of the diffusion equation, for example, let's say that we put a chemical, a solid in a solvent, and the chemical begins to dissolve, and the dissolved chemical begins to spread throughout the liquid. We can then take an equation and use Laplacian and describe the net flow at which a dissolved chemical moves away from the point of interest. So when we have a chemical right there, we want to see how it spreads out. We can pick it anywhere. We don't have to do it necessarily at the point where the chemical is placed. We can do it anywhere in the fluid. And so that means that it's Laplacian of the chemical concentration. What that also means is that it's the average rate of change of the chemical diffusion at any point in the liquid. It's still not very satisfactory, but we'll see another example in the next video that hopefully will clarify that even more. But here let's show you an example mathematically of how we would approach it. Let's say we have a function, x, y squared, z cubed, and let's say we take the Laplacian of that function. So first we take the second partial derivative with respect to x. The first partial derivative, we get y squared z cubed. Then we take the second derivative and we get 0. We take the second derivative of y of the function with respect to y. So first we get 2xy z cubed, and then we'll get 2xz cubed as the second derivative. And then here when we take the second derivative with respect to z, we get 3xy squared z squared, and then 2 times 3 or 6xy squared z to the first power. So this is the second derivative with respect to x, y, and z of this particular function. Now we're going to show you graphically what that means. First of all, we're going to evaluate the function at 3 different points. First, let's evaluate the function at 1, 1, 1. So the function, when x, y, and z are equal to 1, 1, and 1, that is equal to, go back to the function here, that would be 1 times 1 squared times 1 cubed, which is equal to 1. So the value of the function over here is equal to 1. So let's go ahead and put that down. How about the function evaluated at the point 2, 2, 2? Well, that is equal to 2 multiplied times 2 squared multiplied times 2 cubed. So you can see that would be 2 to the 6th power, which is equal to, well, 64. And so this point right here, that would be the value of that function would be equal to 64. And if we evaluate over here, the function at the point 2, 3, 1, that is equal to 2 for x. Y would have a value of 3, which is therefore 3 squared. And then z would have a value of 1, 1 cubed. So 3 squared is 9 times 2, which is 18. So the function here has a value of 18. So that gives us a value for the function at the various points in 3-dimensional space. Now let's calculate the Laplacian of that function at these 3 locations. So the Laplacian of the function, when the function is equal to, when x, y, and z are equal to 1, 1, 1, that is equal to, over here we get 2 times 1 times 1 cubed plus 6 times 1 squared times 1. So that would be 2 plus 6, which is equal to 8. What does that mean? Well, that means that if we draw a little sphere around that point where the function is 1, 1, 1, where x, y, and z are equal to 1, 1, 1, and the function is equal to 1. And we want to see how quickly the change in the function changes as we move out, because it's the second derivative. So the first derivative gives us the gradient, and the second derivative gives us the change in the gradient as we move out. And the average change in all directions adds up to 8. That's what that physically means. Again, on the next video, we'll hopefully give you some more inclination of what that really is. So now we're going to take the Laplacian of the function when the function has now values of 2, 2, 2. So that would be equal to 0 plus 2 times 2 times 2 to the third power plus 6 times 2 times 2 squared times 2. Notice that this is 8 times 2 is 16 times 2 is 32 plus that would be 4, 8, 16 times 6, which is 96, and that would be 128. So again, that's the Laplacian of the function at the point where x, y, and z are 2, 2, 2, and that means that if we draw a little circle, a little sphere, not circle, but a little sphere around that point, the average change in the gradient at that point is equal to 128. And then we can do it again for the point where x, y, and z are 2, 3, 1. So this is equal to 2 times 2 times 1 cubed plus 6 times 2 times y, which is 3, squared, times z, which is 1. And so this would be equal to 4 plus, that would be 9 times 2 is 18 times, that's 18 times 6, that would be 108, which would be equal to 112. Let's check that again. That's 9, that's 18, that's 6, that's 108. Yep, there we go. So again, if we draw a little circle around that point right here, and we want to know the average change in the gradient as we move in all different directions, that change would be equal to 112. And so again, that's what it means. That's how we calculate the gradient, or not the gradient, but the Laplacian, and that's how we evaluate the Laplacian. Now what we're going to do in the next video is show you an example in one dimension, because then it's a lot easier to really see what the Laplacian really means when we're trying to evaluate a function like that. But at least this is the definition of what Laplacian is when it operates on a function.